Hey ladies, welcome back. Today we're exploring one of the most exciting and often misunderstood parts of intimacy, rougher, more intense passion. Now, before your thoughts jump to anything extreme or anything you've watched in movies, let's slow down for a moment and look at what many men quietly desire and why it isn't simply about being wild. It's about being confident, present, and intentional. Because here's something we don't always talk about. There is a side of a man that doesn't only want to feel attractive, he wants to feel deeply wanted. Sometimes he doesn't want everything to be soft and predictable. Sometimes he wants to experience your bold side, your fearless energy, your ability to step forward and take control of the moment. Yes, you. The woman who feels comfortable in her own confidence and isn't afraid to show him a different side of herself. And no, this doesn't mean pretending to be someone you're not. It means allowing a stronger part of your personality to come forward. That daring side of you that knows how to create tension, excitement, and a moment that stays in his memory. You become the woman who doesn't simply follow the moment, but confidently shapes it. In this video, I'm going to share 5 intense moves and ideas that many men find exciting and unforgettable. And we're not only talking about physical attraction, there's something deeper happening here. It's emotional, unexpected, and powerful when approached with trust and awareness. These moments can awaken a side of a man that he rarely gets to express in everyday life. And when you explore that side with confidence, care, and genuine connection, you may notice a completely different level of openness between you. So stay with me, because the next part is where things become especially interesting. If you want to understand what creates that powerful feeling of anticipation and connection, you don't want to miss this. Let's start with one simple idea that can completely change the energy between you, the sudden pin and whisper. There is something powerful about combining surprise, closeness, and confidence. It creates a moment where everything suddenly feels different. One intense idea many men secretly enjoy is the feeling of being briefly caught off guard and gently held in place. Not through pain, but through trust, confidence, and mutual understanding. You don't need to overpower him. That's not the point. The real power comes from intention. It could be as simple as guiding him back toward the bed, moving closer, or confidently taking control of the moment. The goal isn't strength, it's communication without needing a long conversation. You're showing that for this moment, you're comfortable leading, you're choosing the pace, you're creating the atmosphere, and you're allowing him to experience what it feels like when the woman he desires confidently takes the lead. And here's where the moment becomes even more memorable. Once you've created that sense of closeness, don't rush. Move slowly. Let the anticipation build. Lean closer and speak softly near his ear. Give the moment space to breathe. Then say something playful, confident, or teasing that fits the connection you already share. The exact words matter less than the way you say them. Your tone, your confidence, your calm expression, and the way you hold his attention can communicate far more than a long speech ever could. The real power is in presence. It's in making him feel noticed, desired, and completely connected to you in that moment. This kind of intensity doesn't have to leave anything behind on the skin. It can leave an impression in the mind. It can become one of those moments he remembers because of how strongly he felt wanted and understood. Many men spend so much of their daily lives being responsible, controlled, and expected to have everything figured out. In private, they may simply want permission to relax, let go, and experience something different. They don't always want to be the person directing everything. Sometimes they want to trust their partner enough to follow her lead. And here's the part people often overlook. When a man feels secure enough to surrender control for a moment, while also knowing that his partner is paying attention and respecting his boundaries, something meaningful can happen. He can become more relaxed, more open, more emotionally present. And that is where intensity becomes more than just excitement. It becomes connection. So don't underestimate the power of confidence paired with awareness. The strongest moments aren't created by trying too hard. They're created when two people understand each other, communicate clearly, and feel completely comfortable being themselves. And if you think this first idea is powerful, keep watching, because the next one takes that same sense of confidence and turns it into an even stronger experience of trust, anticipation, and emotional connection. Yes, even in intense moments. Because intensity does not mean being careless. It means being intentional, focused, full of energy, while still surrounded by trust. It's strong emotion mixed with real connection. So the next time you're together, don't always wait for him to take the lead. Surprise him with your confidence. Take control of the moment. Move closer. Hold his attention. Whisper something softly in his ear that makes him feel the strength of your desire. That surprise, followed by intention, followed by your voice, isn't simply attractive. It's memorable, and if you think that was powerful, stay with me, because the next idea brings a completely different kind of energy. Let's talk about another intense move, the confident hair hold and slow pull. There's something naturally powerful about hair. It's not only about touch, it can represent passion, desire, closeness, and control. One of the most overlooked ways to create a stronger sense of intensity is taking hold of his hair with confidence while staying thoughtful and aware of his comfort. Many women are familiar with having their hair touched or pulled, but when you change the dynamic and confidently take hold of his hair during a close moment, it can create a surprising shift in energy. It's not about causing pain, it's about creating sensation and showing confidence without needing to explain yourself. That kind of bold desire can pull a man completely into the moment. Suddenly he's not thinking about everything else around him. He's focused on you, on the atmosphere, and on the feeling you're creating together. And that is what makes a moment stay in his mind. You don't have to be rough or forceful. The real effect comes from how you do it. When you gently take hold during a kiss or while you're close together, guide his attention toward you, hold his gaze, and then pause. That pause can be incredibly powerful. Stillness creates anticipation. For a second, everything slows down and he has no idea what you're going to do next. You become the person shaping the atmosphere while he becomes completely focused on your next move. And then comes the contrast. Follow that firm gesture with something soft and affectionate, a gentle touch along his neck, a kiss near his collarbone, or simply running your fingers slowly through his hair. That difference between confidence and tenderness can create a powerful emotional response. He doesn't only experience the moment, he remembers the feeling behind it. You've created a space where he feels wanted, while also feeling safe enough to let his guard down. And that combination can be rare. This isn't only about physical attraction, it's about awakening the part of him that wants to feel desired, noticed, and confidently approached. When you take the lead in a thoughtful way, you're showing him that you aren't afraid to express what you want. You're communicating through your actions, your eyes, your voice, and your presence. Experiences like that can stay in someone's memory because they carry emotion, not simply sensation. And if you're enjoying this, keep watching, because the next move changes the entire rhythm of the moment. So next time, don't simply brush your fingers through his hair without thinking. Be intentional. Let your confidence show. Let your touch communicate what words sometimes cannot. A small gesture, when delivered with the right energy, can become a powerful memory long after the moment has passed. Now let's move into a third idea, the confident hip hold and controlled rhythm. There's a point in intimacy when it's no longer just about being physically close. It's about communicating without speaking. One of the most powerful things a woman can do is confidently guide the rhythm of the moment. I'm talking about slow, steady movement combined with a firm but comfortable hold around his waist or sides. This isn't about rushing or trying to impress him, it's about slowing everything down and being fully present. When you hold his hips and guide the pace while allowing your body language to communicate, the emotional effect can become much stronger. He can feel your confidence. He can feel that you're not simply following his lead. You're participating fully and intentionally. Your hands around his waist, drawing him closer and keeping the connection steady, can create a powerful sense of closeness because you're showing that you genuinely want to be there. And that's what makes the moment different. He isn't simply experiencing physical closeness. He's experiencing your attention, your confidence, and your willingness to take part without hesitation. The slower rhythm can make everything feel more intense because there is no need to rush toward the next moment. You're allowing the anticipation to build naturally. You're showing him that you can be confident without being aggressive, expressive without pretending, and passionate without losing awareness. When a man sees that you're comfortable enough to enjoy the moment for yourself, something changes. He doesn't feel like you're performing, he feels like you're genuinely present. He sees honesty instead of an act. He feels connection instead of pressure. And that can be far more powerful than anything dramatic.
This kind of intensity isn't about violence or force.
It's about depth, confidence, closeness, and emotional energy. It shows that you're not simply going along with the moment, you're actively creating it together. And that difference matters. It can change the entire atmosphere and make the experience feel more personal, more connected, and much harder to forget. So the next time you're together, don't be afraid to hold his waist and guide the pace when that feels natural to both of you. Don't assume you always have to wait for him to lead. Sometimes your confidence is exactly what changes the energy. Let him feel that you're present. Let him see that you're comfortable expressing yourself. And remember this, confidence is often more powerful than trying to be perfect. One unexpected moment can stay in someone's mind for a long time because of the emotion attached to it. And now we're getting to another moment that can completely shift the energy. Imagine suddenly moving into a more confident position, looking directly into his eyes and letting him see that you're fully present. There's something incredibly powerful about being unpredictable in a good way. Not chaotic, not careless, just unexpected enough to create anticipation. That's what can happen when you confidently take the lead instead of waiting for him to decide what comes next. And trust me, the next part is where this becomes even more interesting, so keep watching. Confident energy. A quick change where you take your place like you naturally belong there, followed by a deep and steady gaze that tells him you're fully present. This isn't about control simply for the sake of control. It's about showing through your actions that you understand your own confidence. When you confidently move closer and take the lead, especially when he isn't expecting it, you break the usual pattern and immediately capture his attention. His breathing changes, his expression shifts, and you can almost see the thought on his face. She just changed the entire energy. Keep the eye contact, not playful, not uncertain, strong, calm, deep, and filled with intention. Look at him as though you're paying attention to every small reaction, as though nothing else exists in that moment. And that can do much more than create attraction. It can completely draw him in. Because eye contact during an intimate moment isn't only about what you see, it's about emotional tension, trust, and the feeling of being completely noticed. When you hold his gaze, you're not simply connecting physically, you're reaching his attention and his emotions at the same time. And let's be honest, many people become used to intimacy following the same predictable pattern. Things move forward, the pace increases, and eventually the moment ends. But when you slow everything down, move closer, and pause instead of immediately rushing ahead, you create something different. You create anticipation. It's like a sentence that suddenly stops before the final word. Everything becomes still for a second, and both of you are waiting to see what happens next. He's wondering what you're thinking. He's already focused completely on you, and that is exactly what makes the moment powerful. Because it's in that space where attention and emotion meet, that genuine desire can grow. It's not only about physical sensation, it's about what it feels like to be truly noticed by you, to feel wanted by you, to feel completely drawn toward your presence before anything else happens. You become memorable not because you performed some dramatic trick, but because you understood how to hold a moment with confidence and purpose. People don't always say it out loud, but many enjoy that change in energy when their partner confidently takes the lead, not to impress anyone, but simply because she feels comfortable expressing herself. That unexpected shift combined with strong eye contact can turn an ordinary intimate moment into something much more meaningful. It becomes the kind of memory that stays in the mind because of the emotion attached to it. Something that can make him remember how open, noticed, and desired he felt around you. So next time you want to create a stronger connection, don't always wait for him to guide everything. Step forward yourself. Hold his gaze. Let your confidence speak for you. And if you're enjoying this, stay with me, because the next idea is all about one of the most powerful tools in attraction: anticipation. Here's something every woman should understand. Sometimes slowing down instead of immediately giving more can make a moment feel even stronger. This isn't about rejection. It isn't about becoming distant. It's about understanding the power of a pause. It's about creating enough space for anticipation to grow naturally. The idea is simple but incredibly effective. You move closer emotionally, build a sense of connection, create warmth, and allow the tension to rise naturally. You might hold his attention, share a meaningful look, speak softly, or simply let the silence last for another second. Then, just when he expects the moment to move forward, you slow down, you pause, you smile. Now you look directly at him and let that quiet moment speak for itself. In that instant, you've created something people rarely appreciate enough: the space between expectation and experience. And that space is where imagination becomes powerful. That's where curiosity grows. That's where the mind begins filling in the blanks. Because the truth is, people often become comfortable with predictable patterns. They expect one moment to lead automatically into the next. But when you don't follow the usual rhythm, you create surprise, you create anticipation, and suddenly his attention becomes even more focused on you. You're not playing games, you're simply changing the pace. You're showing that you don't have to rush to create a powerful connection. You can slow down, pause, and allow the moment to breathe. When you build anticipation and then allow things to move forward naturally, the experience can feel more meaningful because both people have had time to fully settle into it. You're not simply going through a routine, you're creating an atmosphere. Every pause, every look, every small change in pace can add another layer to the experience. And that's what makes confidence so attractive. It's not about trying to keep someone constantly chasing you. It's about knowing your own comfort, expressing your boundaries clearly, and being comfortable enough to control the rhythm of the moment. What many people truly appreciate is a partner who knows what she wants and isn't afraid to communicate it. She doesn't have to give everything immediately. She doesn't have to rush. She knows that anticipation can sometimes make connection feel stronger. It's not about making someone prove themselves or forcing them to wait. It's about creating a natural rhythm where both people remain engaged and present. And once someone experiences that kind of thoughtful connection, it can become a memory they return to because of how different it felt. The real message behind slowing down is simple. I am comfortable with myself. I know what I want. I choose the pace that feels right for both of us. And that kind of confidence can be incredibly magnetic. So the next time you're together, don't be afraid to create a little space. Hold his attention, touch his face gently, look into his eyes. Let the moment breathe instead of rushing to fill every second. Sometimes that tiny pause can make everything afterward feel more meaningful. And here's the real truth. Intimacy isn't only about what you physically do. It's about the energy you bring into the room. It's about confidence, trust, attention, timing, communication, and the feeling that you're both completely present. The strongest moments aren't always the loudest or most dramatic. Sometimes they're quiet, sometimes they're a look that lasts a little longer. Sometimes they're a confident gesture followed by a pause that says more than words ever could. When you understand that, you stop trying to follow someone else's script. You begin creating your own rhythm. And that is where genuine connection becomes unforgettable.